out here to talk about cut mutes this time. Let's take this off. Let's talk about the bass cut mute first, because that's what I use most of the time. My cut mute is an adjustable dentist wick. I used to have two of these for some reason. Now I'm down to one. I don't know why I ever had two. Here we go. This barely fits my horn. We'll talk about the adjustableness of them in just a second. I'm going to play the same excerpt I played in the first video just because I don't have a lot to play on cut mute. So already you can tell it's a much more covered, less loud sound than a straight mute is, just because this guy, obviously the cut, is deflecting a lot of sound back into the horn, maybe somewhere else. So it's just kind of a mellower sound, and that's what it's used for. Let's find that dead spot. So around pedal B flat again, it gets really squirrely, and a couple notes above that too. So about the same dead spot that the straight mutes have. We'll talk about how these adjust and stuff after we've gone through all the mutes. Here's my Joe Rao adjustable cut mute on my large tenor. Same excerpt. So this one is more loud, a little more present, much less of the cup action going on. Let's adjust this a little bit, just see what happens. Get it a lot closer to the bell like the bass mute was. Let's try that, same excerpt. Much more of a cup sound, I would say. Let's adjust it back out, find the dead spot, and we'll change it again. So this dead zone is pretty huge. It's from like low G. Yeah, even that note is pretty iffy. Probably around to pedal B flat, pedal A, something like that. So again, giant range where this mute does not work at all. Of course, again, it's tenor trombone, it doesn't really matter. You don't really need that range when you're playing with a mute. Let's try my non-adjustable Tom Crown cut mute. So this one has much more of a cup feel with just a different sound, totally different sound than the Joe Rao, I feel like. This one's non-adjustable, so let's just find the dead zones. This one has much more of a usable range than the Joe Rao does. None of that giant dead zone. That's kind of interesting. Not sure why that is. Let's try just real quick the Joe Rao, but adjust it so that the cup is much closer to the bell. And we'll try and find those same dead zones. And if I did this already in this video, I apologize. No, same dead zones. They're a little less pronounced. I can still play through the ranges, but they definitely don't sound nearly as good. Cool, now let's try those same mutes. Yes, it's on the stand. On the little horn. I also have a fiber stone-lined, Humensenberg, red and white, whatever you want to call this, cut mute. But it's missing two corks, and it doesn't fit in anything I have. I've actually ordered some replacement corks. That's like a super easy, wrong mute. It's a super easy repair. You just like super glue on some corks. And then you can adjust them however you want. This mute works pretty well on this horn. Let's try it adjusted. Much closer to the bell, almost closed off. double G, not a double A flat. Totally different sound. This is more of that kind of old-timey, you hear it on a record, like a 78 RPM kind of sound. I really like that. Let's find the dead zones without like this. That same low G dead zone. Low G is a pretty early spot to have a dead zone. Let's find a high range too. Otherwise, the high range is pretty good. And let's try that adjusted. And I almost forgot. Almost all the way in. Same low G dead zone. After that, it's pretty open. It works pretty well, but that low G is a weird spot just to not work at all. And the high range again, it's pretty good. So I like the sound better when it's adjusted, but it kind of plays the same both ways. That's not really an issue, which is good. Non-adjustable tom crown, same instrument. Notice how far away the cup is when it's not adjustable. So still pretty good. I feel like this is a little stuffier above the staff. So I think the dead zone got pushed out just a little bit to around low E. Yeah, that range gets just a little not fun to play. And the high B flat range, just a little bit stuffier, not as easy to play. Otherwise, this mute sounds really good. I don't know if I like the sound as much as I do the adjustable mute. That really old school, like 30s trombone sound. So the cool thing about adjustable mutes, obviously, is you can change the sound. They come off all the way so that you can store them flatly instead of getting the cone all messed up. And I got a couple more of these. If you put it in and put it all the way against the bell so that there's no room. You get a practice mute, which is pretty cool. I actually like how this plays better than my actual practice mutes. So if you wanted to use this as a practice mute, you get a lot of things in one, as well as the world's worst straight mute. So let's play this as a straight mute. Not horrible. Let's compare that to my favorite straight. You can kind of tell which one is meant to be a straight mute and which one is masquerading as a straight mute. Let's do the same thing with my Joe Rowell adjustable in the tenor. I see people do this pretty often, and I don't entirely agree with it. Sounds actually pretty loud. It's not bad. Let's try the real straight mute. This is a Tom Crown versus Joe Rowell, it looks like. So different sounds. I prefer the actual straight mute, but if you want to have literally one mute, and maybe this is like your first mute, I really don't want to recommend this, but if you can only buy one, maybe get an adjustable cup, because you get a straight mute, you get cup mute, and you get practice mute with this all the way against the bell. So there we go, cup mutes. Sorry I can't play my Humes and Berg, but I'm getting a new course for it. Maybe I'll talk about it later. And there's a bunch of different uses for cup mutes. See you guys next time.